As a preliminary task, I have done research both into the layout, design and market of mainstream rock magazines and the industry itself, which has improved my understanding of the generic conventions of magazine on a whole, and specifically the music magazine genre. This research has taught me the different codes and conventions of magazines, like the micro features that are included, such as a masthead in a colour and font that pops from the background, and having the cover lines on the left of the page so that it is in the left third, meaning it is easily viewable to a possible buyer in a shop when stacked. I have also learnt that the main cover line should be the largest font other than the masthead to anchor it to the main cover image using Roland Barthes' theory of anchorage. I have learnt about the importance of researchers observing actual music magazines and even having a copy of Kerrang at the side of my desk when creating my magazine allowed me to create a believable and professional magazine that pastiches many of the generic conventions of industry conglomerate magazines. I also found that planning my magazine beforehand, creating thumbnail sketches and masthead designs made it easier and quicker to actually create my magazine, as many of the major design decisions were already decided on, so most of my time was taken up producing the actual double page spread article. I also learnt a lot about producing my magazine as my skills progressed using the programs Photoshop and InDesign. Throughout my tasks I have had a few problems with organisation and time management, as many of my folders were messy with some files not saved in the right place or under a good enough file name, so it was hard to find what I was looking for sometimes. I then became able to work like this, so I sorted out all my folders and renamed the files. I found it much easier to access images that I needed as it was no longer cluttered. My time management wasn't as good on my preliminary exercise as it was on my main task, as I spent too much time doing tasks I could do at home in college when I should have been using InDesign, which I don't have at home. However, as I got onto my main task, I took this into consideration when designing my magazine and completed the research tasks at home and the Photoshop and InDesign tasks at college. When checking my blog, I realised my industry research was missing, so I went to find it and had lost it in the process of my task, as I had only saved it to my Z drive instead of backing it up to OneDrive or even a memory stick. This made me learn the importance of backing up my work, which I made sure to do with the rest of the work I did. When we started our music magazine, I learnt a lot about working in a group, as we had to collaborate and come up with a name for our magazine, as well as a genre and unique selling point. I learnt that it is important to listen to all viewpoints of the group and to work with them to create an outcome that satisfies all of the people in the group. I also learnt that organisation and knowing what every person is doing so that all the work gets done and so no two people are doing the same task is as important as the design features on the magazine. If I were to do this task again, I would create a magazine that leaned more towards the multi-genre format of Q Magazine, which covers a wide basis of music genres from pop to rock, as this would make it much easier for me to produce, as I listen to a range of music as opposed to just one genre, so I would know more of these artists to put into my magazine. I would keep the models the same, as they had a good look for that particular genre and would fit in with the Q style, yet would change the mise-en-scène from a brick wall to a blank white studio to give it a premium feel and look more like a professional magazine. I would also try and keep my organisation of folders as good as it could be, which would allow me to be more productive and produce my magazine better.
Created using Powtoon.